presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Phil in Puerto Rico. Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, doing great. Just wanted to thank you guys and the whole crew. Best content on the internet. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Phil, how did you find us?
I just typed in live trading in YouTube one morning.
Cool.
I was looking for any type of live trading room. You guys came up, and
awesome.
I know quality when I see it, or at least I like to think so. And I mean, you guys are just a dream. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Welcome to the Tiger family. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us.
My pleasure.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show, TGIF, as Tom would say. We have a nice weekend ahead of us. Let's take a look at what we got going on. You know, we got some earnings today, mainly Nebius, which we can talk a little bit about. I do have a position in it. We'll talk some more about them. They were just able to get back on to trade. They essentially had to, I guess, extricate themselves from Yandex, which is a Russian company that got sanctioned at the beginning of the war. Everyone is saying that's a risk behind it, but it seems like the CEO, Lekay, is no longer, Volaj, is no longer liked by the Russians because he kind of just completely divested himself from anything in Russia. We'll talk a little bit about them, what kind of the logic is behind getting into the company, even though it's up 12.63% today. It does only have a 5.8 billion market cap. We're going to go through the financials and kind of compare it to something like CoreWeave, which is not public, but we know a general market cap for CoreWeave. Speaking of Russians, Tucker Carlson had an interview with Lavrov, Sergei Lavrov. I believe that released last night. Very interesting. Minister of Foreign Affairs for Russia. And, you know, regardless of what you think of Tucker Carlson or Sergei Lavrov, it's just interesting seeing those kinds. He's not a head of state, of course, but people who occupy that kind of power just talk, even if it is propaganda, you know, most of it. It's just kind of interesting to see what's said, what some of the mind games are, and some of the posturing is during those kind of interviews. It was pretty interesting. Looking at the composite right now, up 0.65% at 19,829. The Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.34% at 44,613. You had the DXY trading up right now at 106.03, up 0.26%. Crude oil breaking down even further at 67.11. I really want to get Teddy Keckstat on here. He is the author of the Tiger Forex Report on TFNN.com. By the way, we are back up and running. We had some issues with the server that was kind of out of our hands, kind of a little weird thing, not to be expected as a normal occurrence. You go over to newsletters tab at TFNN.com. You can see right here the Tiger Forex Report by Teddy Keckstat. Again, he does a lot of currency pairings, but he looks at crude as well. And I just think he's a fantastic analyst. If you kind of want to see some more about him, like if you watch this hour, but not early, you know, with Tommy O'Brien in the morning market kickoff, you can go to our YouTube channel, Tiger Financial News Network. We have clips of Teddy and Tommy kind of speaking. That's going to be Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern time. He comes on at the 9:45 time, but that's the hour of the show. You have the gold contract trading up 0.34% at 2,657. You have copper at 0.08% at $4.19. Russell up 0.24%. Silver off 0.13% at 31.49. Let's see what else we got. Lucid's up 7.42%. It's just, someone plays this stock at these levels, and there's part of me that, here, let's get it off a year or something like that. I mean, that's a pretty, yeah. You know, you can buy low, wait for this run up, sell off, you know, buy here, wait for the run up, sell off, you know, rather sell off here than buy, I don't know. It's this stock moves like usually like 4% every other day, which is kind of nuts. The EV stocks I am getting more and more wary of. We'll take a look at Rivian right now, up 4.66%, trading right under that $13 price area. Man, it did hit $13.52 this morning. Wow. I do have major concerns about what the Trump administration is going to do with EVs. There's discussion. USPS has been trying to get these EV fleets out, and 60,000 trucks, dumping a bunch of money into doing this, and it seems like Trump's going to pull that back. This is by Oshkosh Defense, the people developing these trucks. Not one we really talk about. I'm not even sure that they're public. I've never really heard of them before reading these articles. But that is kind of an indication of a more general perspective I think the Trump administration is going to have. We also discussed yesterday how the Department of Government Efficiency with Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk were criticizing the money given to Rivian to build their plant in Georgia. That's a major issue. Rivian needs money. They are very, very cash hungry. They burn through it extraordinarily fast, and they're not yet profitable. I don't know what this run-up really is about. If people are anticipating like very solid earnings, you had last earnings, November 7th. So nothing coming up here in the meantime. And that makes me a little bit nervous. And it's on, it's on okay volume compared to what's usually traded for the stock. But very wary of these. And, this goes into bigger issues with things like Ford, who have such an immense amount of, just stock in these EV cars, and they're not going to be able to sell them without some kind of tax credit or some kind of government program, That makes me worry for all of these kind of companies. Tesla is probably going to be okay just because Musk is so close, and, I think a lot of what Elon does is, kind of try to push these certain ideas. I can say this most easily with the example of AI, right? Like, we need to sit and slow down AI. We need to kind of intentionally, inhibit its growth so we can figure out what we're doing. That has never been a position Musk has taken on anything that has to do with his. And in my opinion, I think that's a way for him to be able to kind of get ahead or at least get a foot up with Grok AI. So I have a feeling that this might be occurring, right? And it'll affect other EV companies, but not so much Tesla. And it's always a sketchy time shorting Tesla. I don't like doing it. I don't do it because you just get unreal movements like this. And it does get to like cult of personality a little bit, right? And I'm not saying that like with a negative connotation in any capacity, but Musk is a very magnetic figure, and everything he touches, for the most part, has like a huge meme effect to it, right? So you're trading right now with Tesla up 3.32%, trading at 381.72. Let's see, we're about to go to the break and see if there's anything kind of else interesting. If Disney trading up, this is nice that the stock has been moving up higher. Yeah, 116.83, kind of likes that floor right there of 115, and has been trading within the 115, 120 area, really the 118 area for the past few sessions. So hopefully we can keep that value and not crash right back down. Folks, you stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Sheep watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Quickly before we move on, since we're kind of talking about Musk a little bit, let's pull up SoFi. Stock has been dogged. It was a SPAC. I think it's Chiamat is the guy's name. Probably. I don't remember his last name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. A big SPAC pumper. It's trading up recently. It's added a lot of new, kind of features for its users, trading at a high of the year of 1661. I think this thing opened at or initially began at I don't know why the heck I can't get here. Yeah, hit a high up here. Can't really see it, 28.26, and just shot down because there really was nothing going for it. I think what's interesting with SoFi, and now this is only for accredited investors, but it allows you to actually, this is SoFi Invest, I believe is what it is, but it allows accredited investors to get into things like SpaceX. And they've been discussing a little bit SpaceX maybe having an IPO. Those headlines have been floating around for a little bit. Gets a huge U.S. contract. This recently SpaceX expanding Ukraine's access to Starshield, which is cool. When I was in Cleveland, my buddy had a Starlink and we set it up. It took literally 15 minutes and it was phenomenal. I mean, the connection was great, no issues at all. It was stormy outside and it still worked. So pretty cool. If that goes IPO like SpaceX, I mean, with all these other kind of deals like Rocket Lab blowing up, I think you also have Rocket Lab's up 2.55% today at 24.52. SpaceX is even more established than these guys, and then you have PL that has earnings next week. I think Wednesday. I can get that exactly for you, but this is getting pumped up by Reddit in a major way. They signed a triple-figure kind of deal, basically for analyzing how forests are doing. I guess that's fine. Does that warrant 1.1 billion market cap? I'm not really sure. I'd stay away from satellite companies just because. I mean, I know I played Rocket Labs, but that had more kind of a meme potential to it, and they did very well for the year as well. So I knew that was going to get pumped a little bit. Planet Labs, kind of hard to say with these guys, and I usually stay away. The only other satellite company that I played was GSAT, and luckily this was profitable, but they had deals with Apple, to do LEOs essentially, which is pretty fantastic. It's trading up 4.13%. But yeah, SpaceX is interesting. I guess if you're an accredited investor, you can use SoFi. But it's interesting because this bank is just really trying to expand out in a bunch of different ways and services. American Express of FinTech. They want the stock to go up so badly. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what we're doing with SoFi and looking at that. Let's move on a little bit. I want to talk about NBIS. So this is Nebius, okay? Trading up 12.9% today at 35.17. They have earnings tonight after the bell today, and I am going to take a risk on it. Obviously, this is pretty high. This price got a little bit lower than this price point. You had Citron blow them up. What's kind of the logic behind this, right? I mean, they just signed a massive deal with NVIDIA to get some money. It was $700 million. Let me see here. Yeah, it was $700 million private placement led by Excel, NVIDIA, and Orbis Investments. Important to realize NVIDIA does this as a way, because of how they do accounting, they can basically add this to their assets, which is massive. But of course, they're not going to just do that if they don't think the company can eventually pay for it. They're doing full stack AI infrastructure, so a lot like CoreWeave, large scale GPU clusters, cloud platforms, which is big with AI development tools. So basically AI cloud is what they're doing. CoreWeave is the closest analog to this thing. CoreWeave is a private company, but you can still kind of get the valuation from it, which people are putting around $35 billion. This is right at $5.8 billion. They have about, if I can pull up the financials real quick, just so I'm right about what I'm saying. I think they have $2.7 billion just in straight cash, which is fantastic. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Sorry, they have my apologies. They have $2.3 billion in cash, no debt from what I can see. Okay, no, sorry, they do have debt at 6.2 million USD, which is pretty good. CoreWeave has doubled the revenue of Nebius, and it's roughly 6 times the market cap value, right? So if you're taking CoreWeave kind of as your foundation on this, Nebius is relatively undervalued compared to market, regarding market cap. So this is kind of like the way I'm taking from it. They have really increased revenues by a massive amount. They still are operating at a loss, but it is contracting, so the revenue is getting better, which is fantastic. They've added to ARR in a major way, and then really, one of the final bosses of analysis is their leadership, right? And Arkady Volozh is the guy who's running this whole thing, CEO, and he is pretty, at least in the realm of business, a brilliant guy. He has completely divested himself from anything to do with Russia, which would have probably been the biggest risk to a company like this, just because of everything going on. He worked with Israeli groups to make certain face tagging companies. So the dude is competent. He's very, very competent. He was the CEO of Yandex for a while. So yeah, I bought some shares just to see if I can run something up on earnings. Kind of looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens. And then I saw the Citron thing, and I was like, yeah, they say $60 price point, which seems, I mean, seriously, if you're trying to use, the market cap, compare it to CoreWeave, then yeah, I mean, you could definitely see like a $60 price for this equity if you want to look at it that way. So we'll see what happens with NBIS Nebius, but just wanted to throw it out there. That's kind of what I'm doing. Again, they're buying a bunch of GPU clusters, which is pretty fantastic. And so we'll see if they can get anywhere up off the ground with that. As far as other earning reports that are coming in, you have Oracle on Monday, which I think will do pretty well. You have Toll Brothers too. Toll Brothers is a little bit off right now, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, off slightly. 153.70. I mean, I don't know. I feel like home building is kind of in a tough spot right now, and I think everything to do with Trump. I don't believe so much the tariffs will actually materialize, but if you do something like you freeze Canadian lumber or something funny like that, in reality, what you do is you don't just build more expensive houses. You kind of just don't build for 4 years, and if you do, it'd be a very small amount, and so you can kind of get smacked in this realm with that. It's something to keep in mind. What else you have? And then you have C3 AI, which is massive. People are really going to look into that. And this stock blew up recently. Yeah. I mean, you had $18.85 all the way up to $40.40, up 7.71%. Kind of talking on that realm too, because I was looking at these kind of by the bounce or by the dips here on Sentinel-1. This is kind of what I wanted to see happen. I think things are so exuberant right now, like in the market, that anything that's not just knocked out of the park stellar gets dumped like this in a major way. And I don't always think that's really warranted. And I think Sentinel-1 bouncing back up today is nice. You had a bounce even higher, right under the $26 level, which is about 3.3% gain from the open. Still think Sentinel-1 is a phenomenal company. We'll see what happens with C3 AI at least. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. The composite up 0.71%. You have the Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.3%. You have the dollar up 0.23% at 106 flat. You have the crude oil off 1.7%. And you have the SPY, trading up 0.16% at 607.61. Let's take a look right now at Palantir, the stock that just keeps giving, up 6.15% today at 76.30. They announced a co-creation partnership with Booz Allen Hamilton. Let's talk about that a little bit. So the two contractors are entering a co-creation partnership to accelerate defense mission innovation and help the U.S. maintain superiority against its adversaries. Move will build on previous strategic collaborations between the two. Its initial focus was centered on two critical components, the release said, include driving information infrastructure modernization and secure interoperability, as well as the rapid acceleration of integrated warfighting operations through, quote, data-centric systems, improving combined mission planning. Wow, LinkedIn speech. Long story short, these guys are getting together and they're going to be helping our boys do what they do, which is pretty solid. Move up massively. The CEO, Rozansky, said Alex, meaning Karp, the CEO of Palantir, him and Karp are creating new mission capabilities that leverage our company's unique technologies and expertise to close mission gaps at the speed of now. If you guys want to see some like really crazy stuff, we've been talking about like RCAT a bit. I don't even know where that's at today. Off 5.5%, huge pump and then a dump followed. They have earnings December 20th. I'm still kind of deciding if I want to do everything with that. But they're doing basically short-range reconnaissance drones. They kind of won the deal for the military. These are the Teal drones that they had. People, at least in the military, really liked them, especially on military forums. They're talking about things along these lines as being super important. They replaced the technology chief. That's not a huge deal, but off 14% from that. They did so they can kind of expand out and really focus on Teal, which I think is the answer, because I don't know how much consumer like drones necessarily matter, and if that's like really a place you as a company want to focus on when you get a big government bid for potentially building out their personal drone capabilities, which is no doubt going to continue to happen. But you should look up as well, like later tonight, go on YouTube and just type in Anduril. This is like Palmer Luckey's company. He's the guy who invented Oculus, which is the VR headset. And man, the stuff they are doing is so crazy, and it kills me that Anduril is not public, because I would invest in that company so quickly. They have Lattice, which is their big kind of like cohesive, software that they have, and allows for all their different technologies to communicate with each other and kind of act in concert with each other. They also just developed an kind of focused EMP, right? And you can put these, they're like little, capsules, I guess, and you can just put them around every so often. And if any drone flies in that doesn't have some kind of signature that it's communicating to the larger system, it essentially renders them inoperable, which is super interesting. And that's Anduril, but we strongly recommend checking that out. In the realm of Palantir and Palantir-like companies, you talk about Big Bear AI. I've spoken about this a little bit. It is up 16.4% today. Kind of on the news, I think, really of Palantir, because there's nothing else I can see that's driving it. That's a really fantastic volume to the upside compared to like what's usually going on. I think they have a lot of stuff that's going well for them. Of course, they have that biometric scanning that they just deployed in Denver Airport. And they made some other deals as well. But my problem that I have with BBAI, and revenue's good. I mean, I think it increased roughly like 55% over the quarter. You just have an immense amount of insider selling. And they've been doing it for the past few weeks. And I'm not really sure what to make of that. And it makes me a little bit suspect of the company, right? Like, are they going to have bad forward guidance for some period of time? I don't know when their next earnings. They had last earnings on 11/05. So you still got some time on that. Even here you see, not that what these holding groups sell matters really, but when you have insider selling on such a huge amount, it makes me a little bit nervous. You have a market cap at 835 million. No doubt the stuff works. They are getting orders. Their stuff works. It's predictive analysis with AI, which is super important and definitely going to be one of the main revenue drivers within AI. I just don't get why there's so much selling going on, right? And it could be that you've been stuck at this $1 range, from whatever, 117 to 168 or whatever for so long. And you finally get this, it's like, okay, time to sell. Let's get some profit from the thing. but it just keeps occurring more and more every time the stock rises. And so, I don't know. I guess I'm going to wait to see if there's any more news that comes out on it. I mean, here's the answer, like, that I would give to myself, is that if this is just their guys just trying to make some money as the equity price is going up, okay, that makes sense. That's fine. You get news coming out. This could send the stock even higher. But I mean, if they're being compared to Palantir, which is what the whole big news was with this leg up, is that Economic Times compared them to Palantir, said they're the next Palantir, then it shouldn't really matter at these price levels, right? You can still get in, it's still profit fine. Probably just going to wait on better, news for BBAI until I get into it. It's also very weird to like pump it as well. I've been seeing it getting pumped on a lot of different forums, kind of out of nowhere. Not on really any news beyond just, hey, get in this stock. It absolutely does push the price of stocks. And we're gonna take a look at GME here in a second to kind of show you that that's an accurate statement. But it was also the Economic Times, the Indian department. Not that that necessarily matters, but I'm not sure where people even found that from, and then why it just coalesced into what it was, right? Kind of, it was like a one-off comment in Economic Times India that people are attributing this massive run-up to. So I'm not sure. I got to do some more, just kind of thinking on it and see what else develops out of it. Again, I don't think their financials were very bad. If I remember correctly, they don't have a ton of debt. They have like okay cash. Let me see here. The market cap of 842 million, which is not bad comparatively speaking. I mean, Palantir for so long was just a dog, right? Let's see here. Yeah, so they had cash of September 30th at 65.5 million. They had no short-term debt. A lot of their stuff was just from accrued liabilities, if anything in total current liabilities. Revenues, pretty good increase. Gross margin increase. New orders. So, I mean, and it's in the right industry, right? I think just the behavior around it's kind of weird, and I just get suspect of it. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't think it's a bad company at all. I just don't know, right, what the point of this is currently. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everyone. I was kind of looking at BBAI's last financial report. Their net loss was huge, right? And I was kind of taking a look at it. Like, if you decide to take a look at the stock and you're wondering, like, why was the net loss that large? They had an $85 million impairment charge. I was looking into that goodwill impairment. The company recognized a non-cash goodwill impairment charge primarily driven by a decrease in share price during the quarter compared to the share price of the equity issued as consideration for purchase of Pangiam. So, yeah, what that is right there. So kind of interesting. Anyways, that's my thoughts on BBAI right now, and that was kind of my Palantir segue, which is cool. All right, let's take a look right now. What did I want to pull up? This is what I wanted to pull up. Ionic. The actual, I feel like the only quantum computing company that might not be totally bogus, except maybe D-Wave. I mean, D-Wave isn't that bad, I guess, but I mean, you guys were listening to my thing with Qubit, right? Which I reached out to Iceberg Research, and I was like, I think you guys are entirely right. It makes sense to probably short them Q1, Q2 of next year. I said, you run the risk, if the market is still as exuberant as it is, of basically having the headline like the foundry is complete, which, by the way, it's been following along, and they're not going to have a foundry at all, at least in the location they're saying that they're going to put it. That's supposed to come out, again, latest as March of next year. And if the reality is understood, then this stock will collapse. If for whatever reason they can just say, hey, our foundry is active and nobody does any more research, then you could rally even higher. I mean, this thing is trying to get right back up to 920, trading up 7.85% today. The volatility is nuts on this stock. And nobody's talking about it except the Iceberg Research Group. And so I emailed them and I was like, hey, what do you guys think of that? Right? That you could just get this kind of illogical movement up. And they're like, yeah, I mean, we recognize that risk as well, but we still kind of stand on the short position, which I agree with. I think that's fine. It's just hard to time when this is really going to crack. I mean, it's definitely going to be around the time where they have to admit that their foundry is either not there, or where they just say, hey, we have the foundry now, and then that can rally up. And I don't know what the killer is for them after that. But I mean, this is almost valued at $1 billion. And I don't even think people really know what the thing does. Again, thin film lithium niobate. We use silicon now. We communicate electricity over it to do things. This is where all of our chips from. Thin film lithium niobate, same kind of concept. You get a big thing of lithium niobate and you slice it real thin, and you could use it in photonics, which is using photons instead of electrons. In my opinion, I think that addresses a lot of issues, namely the massive power consumption of AI models. But it's a long time away until you start using photonics, at least in a massively adopted way. So I don't know. This has to go down at some point because they're not doing anything. And And when I mean they're not doing anything, I don't mean that, I like companies that are growth and have a small amount of like vendors and stuff like, or a small amount of customers and everything, because I think it gives you inordinate upside if they have a good spot in some emergent market, right? And in theory, this was this for me. But again, after learning that where they're saying their foundry is going to be is not a place that can have a foundry, and they also only spent $2 million on foundry equipment, I mean, that's what I mean, that they're not doing anything. So we'll see what happens with Qubit. I do think I probably want to take a short position in it. Look, this is the highest at $25 and it just smacked down. I think they were doing something else funny around this time as well. So, yeah, that's Qubit. But so Ionic, going back to this, I sat in on their webinar. Nothing really new was said, but it was interesting to listen to nonetheless. Trading at 37.78, up 5.09%. So they unveiled its first quantum computer in Europe, which is fantastic. This is in Switzerland. So they announced the delivery of the Ionic or IonQ Fort Enterprise, its first European Innovation Center at the Uptown Basel campus in Arlesheim, Switzerland, which is pretty good. They're getting out there and actually developing something that's massive. Kind of talking on it, and I was saying D-Wave a little bit. They make their own quantum computer and stuff like that. And we've been talking about things like LAES, right? Which is SEALSQ. They're going to start doing their post-quantum TPMs, Trusted Platform Modules, which is great. Read a DoD directive saying that people should start getting kind of over onto that even more. Additionally, you have the FBI warning iPhone and Android users to stop communicating with each other if they're concerned about their texts being read. Apparently the Chinese, the FBI is saying, and CISA, are saying that the Chinese have completely infiltrated the telecom systems, and anything that's not end-to-end encryption is not good. That's kind of the big broad picture. How does this kind of go in, to quantum computing and stuff like that? Things like Apple are doing Kyber encryption now. So if you're an Apple user, you can text another Apple user. It's not a problem. If you're an Android user, you do that again. We've been talking in the realm of SEALSQ that they have these kind of post-quantum cryptography kind of potentials for their chips, right? With the ASICs and the TPMs that are going to use Kyber and dilithium. This is why I think SEALSQ has the ability to like really blow up even at this kind of cheap level. They're testing it for next year. They have the INES box right here, which is basically a PKI infrastructure for IoT, which is, again, great because I think IoT is going to be massive. The thing with D-Wave, I was reading this article that linked me to another place, which is a research paper written by the Chinese. Weirdly enough, all of it was in Mandarin except the opening, which was kind of saying like, look, we can crack like RSA encryption. And it turns out that things like D-Wave, again, these are large quantum computers, can only break up to about 22 bits. And everything we do is way larger than that, encryption-wise. So it's still some time before you get like major cracks of our traditional, RSA or AES encryption, but I still think that things like SEALSQ have a place to run very soon. It's better to build out these capabilities to be resilient against them than not. But you're seeing things with D-Wave and IonQ being used in legitimate research and applications. Of course, we talked about Amazon's bracket. So I think, honestly, it's funny almost how you have this big AI run up and this big AI boom. One of the things that could legitimately carry us going forward into the next year, that you could see any kind of gains that are, outside, whatever, what would JP Morgan was saying, 8% growth or something like that, or just more tame growth than we've seen over the past 2 years, it could literally be quantum computing, right? And there's still massive limitations behind quantum computing, but all it takes is just one random guy or gal to figure out a better way to do it, and you just rock it off, So that's kind of where I'm at. It's good with IonQ. I still really like the company. They seem very competent. Their leadership is super competent, and they have a lot of good exposure, with very, very large hyperscalers. So folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We got a short segment here before we wrap it all up for the week. Yeah, I was looking into YouTube chat, and NP says they've sold 40 million of 150 million shares since September regarding BBAI. Whew. Yeah, it's spooky, isn't it? 17% short float. There you go. You could be doing a squeeze deal at that. Kind of on that note. Let's see. This is like, okay, let's see. Okay, it's only up 1% today. But Roaring Kitty did the GME thing again. I don't know. I think that has earnings coming up at some point. And usually you get so much short out on earnings and he buys it and short squeezes the stuff. But what I love about it, I love about when he does this is not that I'm going to take any risk on trying to figure out how high this thing's going to go. You just wait to see how high it goes and you can just short the stock. Now, the premium, could probably be kind of crazy, but it's surefire money, right? That's about as good as you can get because this stock is, this company is a dog. It's not good. They're major competitors. We read this out like in January of this year, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it might have been a little bit before here in June. It might have been like in April or something like that when I was filling in for Tom. They list their major competitors as Walmart and Amazon. Like, I don't want to, I'm not ride or die like that for GameStop. You're not going to be able to outcompete Amazon or Walmart in any capacity. And what they're getting basically relegated to is those kind of weird stores in your declining shopping mall, in your hometown shopping mall that sell like kind of kawaii little plushies and Japanese candy. That's what GameStop is becoming. It's not really serious anymore. Still at $13 million company. I don't know what their balance sheet is at all, but you know, if this gets run up, you can short the thing and make some okay money. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to see you Monday morning with Tommy O'Brien for the morning market kickoff, 9 a.m. Take care.